Welcome to the Schools of Excellence podcast, where we transform everyday leadership struggles into powerful legacies that impact generations. I'm your host, Chanie Wilschanski, a 20-year veteran of school leadership who has helped hundreds of school leaders achieve what many thought was impossible through our signature programs, School Leadership HQ and Enrollment Engine. With our battle-tested frameworks and blueprints, leaders have achieved 90% parent retention, 50% less staff turnover, 15% improved profit margins, and increased enrollment by 25%. My mission is simple: to revolutionize school leadership by elevating the skills, the habits, and mindset of passionate leaders ready to create lasting change. Join me as we build your legacy of excellence, one transformative conversation at a time. When we talk about scale, and growth and scale is glorified in any industry, especially in a capitalist society. And there's incredible things about capitalism and about America that I absolutely love. And then there are the parts where we get lost, where we start to lose our soul and we start to lose ourselves in this pursuit of what we're going after. So I'm excited to dig into this conversation with you, Latrice, and really see what journey we'll take people on as we go here. So kick us off with who you are, and then tell us your definition of scale.
Okay, so I'm Latrice Galloway, also known as the Childcare Chick. I own Kidsville Learning Academy in Rosenberg, Texas, and we are 18 years in with this one location. And I started just as a mom looking for childcare. I didn't find anything in my community that I was looking for, so here I am today. And I don't think my definition of scaling is not having multiple locations necessarily. My definition of scaling is just being able to have this thriving business that can sustain, that can create wealth, that can also be able to give jobs in my community and be able to help the children in my community, but also being able to gain wealth for me and my family, and being successful and sustaining. I think at these times, it is very hard to sustain. I see a lot of childcare owners, childcare centers just going down during these times because there's so much going on in the world. And I think being able to sustain has been one of the main things for me when I talk about scale, and being able to sustain and still be successful and make money in this industry.
Woo! Okay, I love it. So I loved your definition of scale. And if I can share my definition of scaling as well, and then let's dive into some of the specifics. So when I think of scaling a school, I think of it's not about adding classrooms or opening up new locations. Scaling a school is about building leadership infrastructure where systems create structure and rhythms create safety. And it's about a school that can grow without depending on one person's energy, memory, or mood. And so that's like my big component when I think of scale is like, it's not growth at any cost, right? It's the intentional expansion of your capacity, of your soul that is rooted in your identity and your company values so that you can actually breathe. So yes, right?
or drowning.
Yes, because that's what we're going for. So why do you see more than ever people drowning right now, Latrice? What's happening?
I think people are just not doing the work, the groundwork. People really, from what I see, they just glorify like this childcare is this billion-dollar industry, and it started trending all of a sudden, and everyone wants to open one without doing the groundwork, without building the foundation, right? They think I just open this building and get some children in, and voila, that is far from it. You can get the children in, but if you don't have a solid leadership team, a solid team, systems, creating this amazing culture, all that goes out the window because you'll start losing the children, right? And I think people are not building the foundation. They're not really learning how to operate it as a business, right? And so for years, childcare is not looked at as a business. And sometimes people still, oh, y'all just babysitters. Oh, you shouldn't be making real money in childcare. Why are you even making money in childcare? And so a lot of owners aren't treating it like a real business. And so slowly but surely, without budgeting, finances, having that leadership team, having those systems in place, they're slowly drowning in their business.
So what do you believe are some of the reasons that leaders aren't building these foundations, right? Even though they know that they should, right? They're starting this business, but then they're not building, like you had said, like these foundational things. What's standing in the way of building the foundational things?
I really don't know what's standing in the way. And I could talk from my own experience when I just started.
I'd love to hear from your experience, and then I could share some of my thoughts. Yeah.
I didn't know. So that's why when I first started, my foundation was so shaky. I didn't know. My background wasn't in childcare like many people. And so back then, though, there were no childcare coaches and YouTube. So I really didn't have a lot of resources. Now, I just think owners are not using the resources that are out there for them. And so they're just not building that foundation. And just like with a house or anything you build, if your foundation is shaky, everything is going to be shaky. And I think they're just not building the solid foundation. And so everything in their business is starting to be shaky until it falls and crumbles.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're sharing a couple of things here. When I see, leaders that don't invest in foundations, is there's a very poor understanding of hustle and leadership, right? So there's like, let me hustle my way. They're very tired. And so when you're tired, you can't really build foundations. But I think the biggest piece, and I'd love to hear your take on this, the biggest reason I find that people don't build a foundation is they think they can hack, charm, or grit their way to growth and scale. I'll talk to her again. Next year, I'll be more consistent. Next time, I'll model. Next time, I'll follow through. And so they believe that charisma and will and good intentions carry foundations.
I just think that they are just not using their resources. I really do.
What resources do people have now that they're not?
It's a child care coach on every corner. And I'm not saying that all of them are doing whatever, but find the one for you. It's courses out there more than ever. It's leadership trainings. It's conferences everywhere. It's YouTube University everywhere. It's communities. It's Facebook groups. Like, it is so many resources that they can use. And I want to go back to something that you said. People think they can hustle and work their way to scaling and to success, but you cannot. You are going to burn out. I was that person working 12 to 14-hour days saying, it'll get better. This is what I have to do. I have to be in here every single day, all day, until I burnt out. And like you said, I couldn't focus on the foundation. I was tired. I was focusing on just keeping the business going, that I couldn't focus on growth and scale and foundation, because I was inside of the business from sunup to sundown, putting out fires, being in the classroom, cooking, cleaning. I had no time to focus on building a foundation and scaling.
What shifted? When did you start to build foundation?
My mindset.
So let's talk about that.
Yes, my mind. I had to stop thinking like an operator, and I had to start thinking like a CEO. And what the pivotal moment that I knew I couldn't do it anymore is because not only was I getting burnt out, but my health started taking a toll. I was too young. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure at 32, and it was because of my childcare center.
High blood pressure at 32.
I've been taking a pill every single day since I was 32. For my blood pressure every single day to this day. And it was, I know, because of that, my doctor said, if you don't slow down, this job will kill you. And that moment, I have kids. Is it worth it? Like, okay, I know I have to build this business, but I know it has to be a better way. So
why do we wait for us to be told we're going to die?
I don't know, but them words resonated with me. My life flashed before my eyes. And that was when I said, this has to change. And so my mindset shifted. And that's when I start really honing in on becoming a better leader so my team could sustain. Because at one point I thought I could do it all. I don't need anybody. I can drive, I can cook, That is far from the truth. You cannot do it all. And I think owners today still think they can do it all. And you cannot do it all. And so for me, that was that pivotal moment when I said nope. And I started becoming a better leader, investing in myself more. I started creating these systems in my business, building up my leadership team, and my whole mindset shifted.
So many things I want to talk about here. Okay, so let's talk about the high blood pressure and dying moment, if you're okay with that, because I have far too many leaders also that have been working 80-hour weeks, had many heart attacks, were diagnosed with cancer, all these different things that became the impetus for change. And I really want to talk about this because just like you said, scaling and growth is glorified. We need to talk about something else that's glorified in our society: pain. We live in a culture that honors suffering, okay? You are not given permission to change unless you're in pain that is deep, undeniable. You have to wait for your body to break down, for your school to be in foreclosure, for your relationship to be cracking, for someone to be filing divorce until someone says, oh, I need to do something different.
Yes, that's crazy, but
now let's take it further. This society trains women to be resilient, not to be restorative.
yes.
And women are taught and praised for how much they can carry, how much they can move, how resilient they are, how quickly they can wipe their faces from their tears. Women are not taught how to live in a restorative pace that is peace and calm and luxurious. It is like, oh my God, indulgent to be like, I feel peaceful, right? You have to be told you're on the edge, you're dying, you're about to collapse, you're going to die. Yes. And then we're like, oh, I should probably change. So those are massive pieces that drive this type of culture.
Yeah. And I don't know why either, but I'm telling you now, peace is where I reside now. And that's why I choose to scale with one location, because...
And now let's talk about that. Why scale with one? First of all, I love you, but why scale with one location? Let's talk about why.
Well, for me...
Hey, school owners, I see you. You've built the team, you've trusted others with the work, and somehow it still feels like everything lands on your shoulders. And that weight is exhausting. What if you could stop carrying it all alone? What if you can finally see exactly where your leadership is getting stuck and what to do next? That's where the Strategic Leadership Scorecard was made for. In just 2 minutes, it will give you a clear diagnosis in one of the core areas of leading a school: enrollment, financial health, staff culture, or parent engagement. You'll get practical steps and trusted resources to help you lighten your load and unlock real ownership in your team to be able to lead with confidence. You deserve this level of steadiness. So take the scorecard now so you can lead with clarity and know that your school runs on shared ownership, real standards, and rhythms of accountability.
When I decided to build my center, the second one, build it from the ground up, I knew that this was it. I can't be two, three, four, five places at one time. And I'm very hands-on. Even though I'm an off-site owner, I'm very hands-on, right, with my business. And so I decided to scale deep and not wide. I decided to see what was inside versus going outside. How can I continue to grow this business that I have right now? Adding more programs and looking at my rates and adding value to my family so I can charge top dollar, making sure every space in my building was utilized properly to be able to get the maximum profit. And for me, that one location has saved me a lot of sanity, and I still live the life that I dream of, and I still have scaled to millions. Every year we make over $2 million in revenue with one location. And for me, that's enough. Now, I've been presented the opportunity to open locations, buy locations, franchise my location. Mm-hmm. And every single time I almost say yes, God reminds me, this is your assignment right here. And I just go back to the drawing board and tell my team, what can we do now? What can we add this year to our program to continue to make it better and better and better? And so
you said so many things I want to unpack.
Okay.
Yeah, so many, because there's so many nuggets here. One, you said that's enough. So I want to talk about enough for a second. And then you also spoke about how all these opportunities come, but you stay aligned with what you know is true. So let's start with that piece, which is like, what is your filter? Like how, because again, I say this to my kids all the time, and I say this to my team, opportunity will always come knocking. It will come dressed as this thing. It will come dressed as this thing. Because again, one of my earliest mentors, before I even started my business, I was offered this huge job position right after I graduated from college. And my college professor offered it to me, actually. And then she's like, but don't take it. I'm telling you about it, but don't take it. I was like, why? And she's like, here's why. You have young kids right now. And this opportunity is going to ask you to choose between your values and the job all the time. I was like, but I really need the job, but I really need the money. And she's like, honey, for someone like you, opportunity will always come knocking. Always.
Yeah.
You will have to choose your values. And that's what you're saying here, Latrice, is like, for successful women, people in general who show up in the world, opportunity will always knock.
Yeah.
Question is it your door to answer?
Yeah.
So talk to us about that. How do you know to open the door or not?
So I guess, like you said, it goes back to your vision, your values. My vision, and was never to be this multi-site owner going from here to there. I have friends that own several locations. And when I talk about sacrifices, I've sacrificed enough with one location. I can't imagine sacrificing all that with 3, 4, 5. I have children. My family is a priority for me, a priority. And I would choose that over anything, any day. And this one location for me has still provided me with the life that I desire. I'm not greedy, right? So
enough is enough. Talk about enough.
Yeah,
what does enough mean to you? What's your definition of enough?
I think enough has to do with what do you want? Everybody's enough is different. Some people says it's never enough. I hear people say it's never enough. For me, it's enough. I live comfortably. My kids and my family are healthy. My bills are paid. I can travel when I want. I have, great investments that my kids will be good. And hopefully if they keep growing, my grandkids will be good. And from where I'm from, I was the first person in my family to get a degree, to have a business, to even see $1 million. So for me, that's enough. I'm not willing to sacrifice, being able to go to my daughter's school when I want and be at the games and take my children on vacation. I'm not willing to do that anymore. So I think enough, you have to decide when it's enough.
What is enough? What's your definition?
It's no one answer, right?
Yeah,
for me, that one is enough. And like you said, when the opportunity knocks, you have to know when to take it. And some of them look real good. Some of those
of course they do. Oh my God. Are you kidding?
Some of them had me almost about to do it.
Oh, they're good. They're amazing. So
some of them had me about to do it, but then I had to go back to my original vision, values, and say, no, I pass.
So I did this exercise a couple months back and wrote my definition of enough. And I use that as my filter for when opportunity comes knocking. So I'll actually read my definition.
I love to hear it.
Sure. And I think it's such a great exercise for our listeners to really create your own definition of enough. So I'm just going to pull it up here. Enough is not a finish line. It's a feeling of integrity. It's when what I carry matches what is truly mine to hold. It's when the systems that I created actually support my vision without sacrificing my body, my soul, or my family. It's when I lead without chasing, without overfunctioning, with resting without guilt, and growing without abandoning myself. Enough is never about having less. It is about knowing what is mine and finally letting go of what never was.
I love that.
That is my definition of enough.
I love that. Without sacrificing, like you said, I'm not sacrificing my time, my health, and all that anymore, So I love that definition.
So you have your own definition, right? And you kind of explained here, but what's so beautiful for those that are listening, like listen to Latrice's definition, listen to mine, create your own filter of enough. Yes. Because like Latrice said, it is so indulgent and enticing to go after those things. And they're always going to be there. You have to remember that. I say this often, like my husband and I, whenever the kids ask for certain things, our kids' job is not to stop asking for things. Right. It is our job to create boundaries and teach them what to do when their desires and their wants and all their things come at us. It's not stop asking. No, it is my job to know how to hold the boundary. So the universe, God, whoever is going to keep sending opportunities opportunities your way. It is your job to create the enoughness to know
this is good. This is the one. Yes.
This is it. This is the one. Okay. Let's go into when you talk about sustainability for your team. What are, I don't know, one or two things that you do that really help you know this is good. My team is sustained. Like they're full, they're satiated.
When I walk in my center, I'm a vibe check person, right? So vibe when I walk in. When I walk in, literally everybody's happy. Everybody's there. They're engaged in whether it's my leadership team being engaged in what they're doing, whether it's the teachers being engaged. They're there every single day. They're happy when I walk in the door. For me, that is one thing that I look for when I see my leadership team. I look at how long they've been there working for me. I also look at, I know that I've done a great job with my team and my systems because they don't need me. When I'm there, they laugh and they say, you always come here to play because there's nothing for me to do. So I go build relationships. I play with the children. I check in on my team because when it comes to the work at the business, they don't need me. And this has been for at least the past 4 years. They don't call me. They don't need me. So that lets me know my systems are working. My team is solid, but I also invest in my team a lot. To make sure.
What do you do? Tell me what you mean by invest in your team.
I train my team. I send my team to trainings. I have people come in and train my team. I pour into them. We have these staff meetings, but meetings that I'm not just telling them what they did wrong. Collaborative meetings. What do you think? What should we do? How is this working? How is this not working? They appreciate that, so I'm always pouring into them and to make them better, because if they're better for the business.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me, that lets me know that it's working. It's working for me. They don't need me. They don't need me. And the business is still successful.
I have a contrarian question for you.
The business is still successful and running at a high quality of the excellence that I have created, that standard, with or without me there.
100%. People are afraid to invest because what if they leave? How do you combat that?
So for me, you should be budgeting anyway to invest in your team. And I always say this, I would be more afraid to not invest and they stay.
Yes. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Because if they stay with me 5 years and I never invested in them, what are they learning different? How are they growing? How are they growing as a person? How are they growing as a teacher or a leader or educator? That's a problem for me. Everybody should always be growing. I pour into my team for professionally, but even just for them. What do you want to do with your life? Like, what is a big goal that you have? You want to buy a house in the next few years? How does that look? You want to go back to college? What does that look like? How can I support that vision for you? People stay with me even after college or after these things because I support their vision. And even if they leave, we leave on a good note. I'm glad. You have to go out, and so if it makes you happy, do that.
Right.
Do that. Yeah. But they shouldn't worry about them leaving. Worry about them staying and you don't invest in them. And a good leader, if you're having a good leader and you have a great budget, you're going to already have money budgeted for training, no matter who it's for.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have that line item, and it is what it is. You cannot worry if they leave, because what if they stay?
Yeah, so good, Latrice, so good. Latrice, I have one more question, and then I want you to tell us where people can go to find out more about you and follow all the goodness that you put in the world. This all sounds really nice in theory, right? Someone's hearing this and like, well, that works for you, Latrice, scaling one location, doing all of that. But I have these big ambitions. I want to own 10 locations in 10 years. I want to do this. So can you share a message to that person as well?
So if that's I'm big on what is your vision? If your vision is to own 10 schools, I personally think it's amazing. I know people that do it and do it well.
And do it well.
If that's your vision. If that's not your vision, I just want them to know that it can be done with one. Now, again, it can't be done with one if you have a capacity of 20. But if your vision is to ultimately own one school, it can be done. You have to plan, you have to build, and you have to always stay innovative and figure out What makes you stand out? Why do people want to come to you? What makes you different? Look at your numbers, right? Are you charging enough? Right? If you want one location and you want to make all this money, are you charging enough? Are you providing value to your families that make them say, I don't care what it costs. My kid is staying here. So I always say when you're thinking about scaling, whether you're thinking about scaling or not, it's all up to your vision. And like we talked about earlier, that shiny opportunity is going to dangle in your face at all times. But
I love it.
Stay true.
Yeah,
it's going to look so good. But stay true to what your vision is. And for me, one decision, one school, and one vision changed my entire life. And so I leave you with shit. Now, no one knows this, so only if you hear this.
Okay. Tell us, Latrice.
The Power of One will be releasing on July 12th. And it's called The Power of One. And I cannot wait.
I'm so excited to read it. Oh my God.
It's going to be an amazing, it talks about my story, but also it gives you the tips on how, if you want to scale with one, this is what I did. Exactly.
Is it available for pre-order? Like, could we put?
It'll be dropping for pre-order in 2 weeks. So
amazing. So by the time we release this podcast, we will put the link in the show notes. The Power of One.
It's called The Power of One. One vision, one yes, one opportunity, and one school changed my entire life. And it could do the same for others. So that's how I came up with the title, The Power of One, because all it took was one.
Yes, it is so good. So good. So Latrice, where else can people go to find out more about just the great work that you're doing in this industry and in the world? And obviously, we'll link everything here in the show notes for those of you that are.
So you can find me on every platform at the Child Care Chick. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. My website is allthechildcarechick.com. I also have Born to Teach Con that you can follow there if you are looking for an amazing conference to attend for teachers and leaders. But you can find me anywhere, The Child Care Chick.
I love it. Latrice, thank you for joining us here on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for sharing your story, your soul, and really just the power of, I guess, like you said, the power of one, the power of like what that scaling could look like.